Oop, gotta get this thing sorted. Little live video. Let's see how I can do this. So as you see, my little kitchen table is getting taken over by drone accessories. And I just recently got the replacement Evo 2 Pro back from B&H. They swapped it out because I had an issue with the drone, and they said, why not try to see if you swap out the drone for another one. And when I got the drone, I put all the batteries, all of these little orange guys, onto the hub, and lo and behold, it wasn't doing anything. So if I go ahead and plug, I actually kind of was marking them. I don't even know if I have it plugged in. I think I do. So let me see. I'm just kind of rigging this little quick live thing to see how it works. If I plug this little guy in, you're going to essentially see what the battery is doing. So basically that little flashing fourth LED is pretty much staying like that the entire time with this charger. So I think it's actually the brick that actually is defective. So Autel, I talked to the supervisor, they're gonna send out, yeah, I don't know if you do. Sometimes it's kind of a pain in the ass. But here, let me see if I can, hold on. Let me get my GoPro. Use my GoPro as a little mount. There we go. Let me see if this falls. No, but as I said, so I got a job tomorrow shooting some paving company, both Saturday and Sunday. So not a huge job, but a big enough job where I need this drone, and I got it just in time. But again, the batteries aren't charging, so there's that. But Autel, I talked to one of the supervisors over there, and they went ahead and next day aired a charger, so they're gonna get me out a new one of these guys, and hopefully that remedies that issue. And if it doesn't, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna send this guy back once again to B&H, and they're gonna swap it out for yet a third one, which is a big pain in the butt because, so you guys are aware, and this is all kind of a learning experience for me too with Autel, because I'm not as used to the Autel experience. When you buy Autel Care, which is essentially $200, roughly $189 for the Evo 2 Pro, the 6K for example, in their terms, it's non-transferable. So when I get this drone swapped out, essentially what they were telling me is that I was going to be out $200 because they can't physically transfer it. And I ended up kind of griping because what I was told by one of the Autel support guys before I sent it back to B&H is that I could indeed transfer it over. I just needed to provide proof that B&H actually did indeed swap out the drone. And I just needed the new serial number to email that to them, and they would go ahead and transfer it over. But anyway, long story short, they don't want you to transfer the Autel Care, so it's kind of a big pain in the butt. I talked to a supervisor, as I said, and they went ahead and were nice enough to do right and refunded me the Autel Care, and I went ahead and bought it again for this guy. But if I have to send this guy back because, say, there's an issue with the battery or the drone or the charger, I got to go ahead and have them refund me the Autel Care because they can't transfer it over, and then I got to buy it once again for the third time for a new bird, essentially. And these batteries, just so you know, when they came to me, the current firmware is, I think, 0.15 or something. So they came to me shipped, and they were 2 batteries in this Go Bundle, whatever it is. It's like a Go Bundle Plus. I don't even know the exact term. But both of them were at 0.12. And what they suggest doing is, I don't know where I have, here, hold on. So, and I got the Crystal Sky that I bought from someone through Facebook, basically brand new. Normally it would be like $1,200. I got it for $700. Super stoked that there are good people out there because it came and it was perfect and good to go. But I will show you. So this little, where is it? Hold on a second. I'm in my little Autel case. So they essentially have the 32 gig card that came with the drone, and I put the bin file, the binary firmware update file on here. So I put this little micro SD card Yeah, it's the Ultra one too. So see this little U? That little U right there is the Ultra. So it's 2000 nit. So it should be a killer display. I just need to get the drone, and that should be here next week, the Inspire 2. But anyway, just so you guys are aware, if you're interested in buying the Autel, when you get the drone and the batteries, you got to update each battery individually. So what you basically do, if you go ahead and manually put the binary file, that bin file, on the micro SD card, you insert it into your drone right over here. So unfold the arms, they don't go down. It's this little guy right over here, this little magic door, and there's the memory card. Boom. Kind of a weird little thing, because when you push it in, it sometimes depresses the card and pops it out, so you got to be careful with that. But anyway, if you have the firmware on the memory card, let me put this thing down, my table is full. When you turn on the drone and the controller, so here, controller, and you have it hooked up to the phone, it will automatically prompt you to do a firmware update. And what it basically does is run the binary file, the bin file or whatever, on the memory card, and it will basically update only what it needs updating. So if your battery is the only thing in that equation that needs an update, it will just go ahead and run the firmware update entirely again and just update the one battery to get it current. But initially, when you first get the drone, for example, if you guys get an Autel drone, they say you can do it through the Autel Explorer app, but I would opt not to, and I would go to Autel's website. Yeah, that triple tech tablet is supposed to be pretty cool. It should be a good option, so let me know how you like it. I know a friend of mine, State 808, who has a channel in Hawaii, he has one and really talks about it and likes it. But I ended up, as I said, getting this guy. I don't know, this is for the Inspire 2, so kind of weird getting an Inspire 2 when it's 4 years old, but the drone is still really pertinent and still a really good cinematography drone. So I just wanted to always have an Inspire 2. It's kind of a dream come true for me, and I saved up a lot and sacrificed a lot of little things. Like I won that DJI FPV, for example, from Pilot Institute, which was really cool, but I ended up selling that and putting that $1,500 towards the Inspire purchase. So sacrificing a lot of stuff. I returned my Air 2S and sold my Mavic 2 Pro and Smart Controller, and I'm just going to put that money towards the Inspire 2 purchase and rock that out and really just see how, see what it's all about. I mean, it's 10, 12-bit color, micro four thirds sensor, and pretty excited to see what it's capable of. I mean, it's going to be pretty massive. It's annoying how expensive everything is. I mean, the case alone is $600. You have to buy the SSD drive that goes into the drone in order to capture ProRes or Cine DNG or Cinema DNG. So, and that little 960 gig SSD is $1,200-$1,300 alone, and then you got to get the license unlocking, and then you have to get the little hub to actually download the SSD card. So there's a lot involved. It's kind of intimidating in a way, but I feel like I want to rock it out, and I'm just gonna pull the trigger and trust the flow, and I feel like it will make money for me. So anyway, but again, with the batteries, just so you guys are aware. Oops, shoot. Oh, hold on a second. GoPro tripod did not fare well. Bird is upset. Hold on. Okay. Try one more time. You just got Autel batteries everywhere now. There we go. Okay. So again, whoop, there's a little bug on this guy. But we'll see what happens if this guy does not remedy the problem, the new one that they're sending out to me tomorrow. It's going to essentially, the entire thing is going to go back to B&H. But if it does work, mission will be accomplished. And again, it's weird because the hub never gave me an issue. I had this hub with the other drone, and it always worked flawlessly. And there's two modes to it too, so you guys are aware, just for little information. There's a green and a blue. The blue, I believe, does it in parallel, so it will charge all batteries simultaneously. And the green will do the most charged battery, so it basically does it one at a time. I prefer this method for whatever reason, but the hub never gave me an issue. So I feel that it is this guy that's causing the problem. If not, I'm just going to send the whole thing back and again, get a new one sent out to me for peace of mind since I just got it and I don't want to mess around with an investment like this. But yeah, that's it. I mean, as I said, this is just kind of a little impromptu go live thing just to test it out. But what you want to do is just make sure everything's up to date firmware wise. I did all that. I talked to the supervisor at Autel today at length actually, and really nice, but at the same time was making sure I didn't do anything wrong in the process. So basically all you need to do is plug it in and wake it up. So it's not like a deep hibernation mode, I don't think, like DJI. So the minute it's woken up and LED is on, it should be good to go. So that's basically what I did. I woke it up, I plugged it into the drone, and then I updated the firmware on each battery individually. So like he said to me today, that was the right process. There was nothing wrong with that. So that's really about it. I mean, I don't know, this Crystal Sky, I got this and the little bracket that you use for the controller, and he actually sent me a little shade for it too, which is kind of cool. So I got a good deal on it. I mean, $750 is not bad for a Crystal Sky Ultra with the hood and with the bracket. So at least I saved a little bit with that purchase, and it was perfect and all good. But what are the boys? Oh, the nits, 2000 nit on the Ultra, 1000 on the regular one. So this guy's the brighter one, and even with the smart controller, the DJI smart controller at 1000 nit, I don't know, I just don't feel that it's enough sometimes. I had a hood with it too, so with the hood and 1000 nit, it's better than nothing. But the iPhone, which is what I'm recording and streaming on right now, when it gets hot with the DJI app, for whatever reason, it seems to dim out a lot, especially when it's warm like it is now, when it's 80, 90 degrees. The Autel app, I don't feel like the iPhone dims as often. So there is that. But again, there's pros and cons with each one. The Autel smart controller is going to be 2000 nit. I don't have that one yet. I pre-ordered, but I talked to Autel today, and it was weird because they said they were supposed to come out end of May. It's obviously past the end of May. It's June, and there's still no sign of the Autel smart controller. So who knows when those things are actually going to ship. But it should be a great controller. It will help out because, again, this controller is a little clumsy. You got the little handles that fold out. You got this guy that comes up, puts your phone in, and that's about it. I mean, it's cool. It's not bad, but it's not great. So, wait. Oh, that's why you bought the tablet? Here, wait, hold on a second. I'm on my iPhone, so let me see what it says. Yeah, that tablet's supposed to be a great tablet, so let me know what you think of it. I'm shaking the table. But again, this controller definitely has connectivity issues with the iPhone. So some of the things were not taking the settings. So that was my main issue with the drone. And Autel basically said it may be worthwhile sending it back in if you can and try another drone and another remote. So that's why I sent it back to B&H. And I haven't even taken this thing out in the air. Tomorrow on a job is going to be my first time. So kind of stinks. Yeah, just bought the lift mountain. Yeah. So what are you going to fly with? What drone are you using that? But like this guy, I got to try for the first time on a job tomorrow. So that's not the ideal thing. I mean, it's not a huge job, but it's a $2,000 job. So it is someone spending a decent amount of money. And fortunately, we have other drones. I got a Phantom 4 Pro that we're going to be taking out. We got two Mavic Zooms, a Mavic Mini, and a Mini 2. So we do have other drones that we're going to be able to rely on. Yeah, that's cool. Well, let me know how it is with that, because that's definitely a good option. What do they cost? Aren't they like $1,000? Or no, maybe not that much. But again, not going to be ideal. I'm going to wake up, for example, and go to the job site and test it out and see. I got 4 of these batteries that are all kind of doing weird things, like they're not fully charged. Do you see that? So I don't even know. With this battery too, normally it would be solid 4 LEDs if it was working the correct way. So something's going on that kind of put my batteries in a funk, which is annoying because the batteries, the 2 of them at least, were rock solid before I sent in the drone for the exchange. So they're all current and updated, but we'll see what happens. It was weird when I got this drone too. It had some scuff marks on it, which was weird. I don't know. I took some Goo Gone and got them off. They were like right on the side over here. But it's a great drone. I missed it. I'm excited to use it again, but at the same time, again, if I have to send this back in, I got to deal with Autel and rebuy the Autel Care. But again, just so you guys are aware, if you do have, are you going to buy the Autel Care, or do you have it for your Evo? Because I mean, it's roughly $189, and I think they only have it for a year right now. So hopefully they do offer a 2-year option for the Autel Care. I haven't used it or utilized it, thankfully. That means I haven't crashed one of my Autels yet. But with DJI, I mean, the refresh thing does work pretty well. Oh, you didn't get your drone yet, didn't you? You said it was coming on Monday, Sean? Well, you have 48 hours to get Autel Care. That's all I know. Once you activate it, you have 48 hours in order to do so. And in my opinion, for $189, I would. But just know that you can't transfer it, and you get 30 days to actually, like, I think, refund it if you do decide to return your drone. So, but do make certain that you update all the batteries and all the firmware, because it updates the gimbal firmware, the camera firmware. It has a whole list of what it updates. So if you go to Autel Care, or you go, not Autel Care, if you go to Autel's website and you go to Evo 2 and go to the support page, you'll go to the firmware area, and then you could actually click. It doesn't even look like you can click. There's a link. I can't show you right now, but there's a link that you click and it'll give you a list of all the updated files. So basically you just got to go to the top up right corner of the app and go into the settings area, and then you click that, and then you go into like general, I think, and about, and firmware, and it will list all the versions. So you just want to make sure your battery version is basically at 15. It probably won't be when you get it, and that's just key. You got to update each battery manually. So if you get 4 batteries, or you get another battery at Amazon, you got to plug this into your drone with the memory card with the bin file on it, and it will run it will just automatically prompt the firmware update. So, but that's it. I got to actually go and let my cat inside and do a few things. I just figured I'd let you know some of the things that I'm dealing with. I pulled the trigger for the Inspire 2. It was a lot of money to spend. It was a lot of money to spend. So kind of was making me nervous, but I'm just going to trust my intuition. I've been wanting one of these things for a long time. Yeah, it's 808 State. Yeah, he's a good brother. So I lived in Hawaii for 10 years, and he's over there and doing the Autel thing a lot. I think he just bought, actually, I know he did. He just bought a Mavic 2 Pro. So I think he's experiencing some of the DJI stuff. I just sold my Mavic 2 Pro and my smart controller. Honestly, I've never really loved the smart controller for DJI, so I don't really miss it. It's a nice dedicated controller to have, but I don't mind using the regular controller with my Zoom. I still have a Zoom left. You just sold yours. So, as I said, for one of the things, I mean, the Inspire 2, for this example, it's just kind of like, you got to go for it sometimes and know that it's going to eventually bring work. And this is a little bit easier of a purchase. I mean, actually, this was going, I think, for $1,800 or $1,895. I got it when they had a sale originally, like 2 months ago, for $1,599. Then B&H went down to $12.99. I think Autel Pilots went to $11.99. And B&H was cool enough that they honored the price match, and they gave it to me for basically $12.99. So I got $300 back. So this drone, even though I'm exchanging and swapping it out a couple times, still only cost me $1,300. So it's kind of like I have to keep it. It's just such a killer drone to use. I mean, the files are really great. I did a little low light video. Yeah, it's killer. Good deal. But $1,300 is a great, investment. I mean, I have 4 batteries right now. None of them seem to be working really well right now, but 4 batteries with this drone. I mean, these things really do give you a lot of flying time. So great bird, great camera, great in low light, really impressed. The fact that it's orange and the fact that it's non-DJI is just a cool thing. So let me know what you guys think when you do fly your Autel like you, Sean, for the first time. But that's it for now. Just wanted to say hello. Have a great weekend wherever you're at, and we will talk soon. Bye, guys.